This is an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060. This particular model is the 12 gigabyte EVGA XC model, which stands for extreme clock, in spite of how extreme that sounds. This is actually a very lightly overclocked GPU. It's got, it looks like about 6% on the boost clock, which is what I call a BS overclock because it might as well not be an overclock, but whatever. This thing is based on the Ampere architecture and was released in January of 2021. So it was a very, very early release, 2021 release GPU. As you can see in the videos, it is a somewhat odd-looking GPU, kind of a short, stubby look to it. This was a very, very solid option back during the time for like mini ITX type builds, ultra mini ITX, like those really, really, really tiny builds. These type of cards tend to fit perfectly, and they have comparatively limited power requirements. As you can see, it's got a single 8-pin. So it does lend itself very well to that really, really, really ultra compact form factor sometimes people like to do. So this is a fairly simple GPU, so not nearly as much to go over with as far as the design and characteristics as some of the other ones I've looked at. So let's jump over to looking at the specs and the capabilities of the test rig that we're going to host this in, and then we'll jump into the game testing. I hope you enjoyed the quick look at the RTX 3060 up real close. It's a decent looking GPU. It's kind of, you know, I'm not a huge fan of these short little ones, but this isn't bad looking for what it is. Might be a little cuter if it was a little longer, you know, but so our goal here with the RTX 3060 is to find out, do we have a viable, modern, entry-level GPU? Now, I'm going to define viable, modern, entry-level. So we're not talking budget. I mean, it's budget, but we're not talking like ultra budget like we are when we're working with like 1080s, 1060s, cards like that, where they'll run some games, but you know, there's limitations. I want to find out if we can use this as a modern gaming GPU. No limitations on games that we can run, only limitations on how good we can make them look. So what I have tested this with is I have done 1440p on all of the games across the board. Some of them I used a little bit more DLSS, some a little bit less. I think all but one I ran at DLSS quality. I think I may have used balanced on Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones does push this surprisingly hard, actually. I was surprised that it ran it as poorly as it did. I mean, it didn't run it poorly, but I was surprised that it didn't run it at higher levels based on what I've seen in the past. And then I think all of the games I tested, I ran at medium or better settings. So some of them are a little low on the frame rate. I tried to test them in such a way where if you like higher frame rate, you have somewhere to go. If you like higher quality settings, you have somewhere to go. I tried to test them as kind of a worst case scenario, and then you have room to go from there. And then the build that we tested with, I didn't want something insane, modern, overpowered. I didn't want it to be like a 13900K, 5800X3D, something like that. I wasn't trying to find out the maximum raw performance of the 3060. I wanted to find out the 3060 in a value environment. So this particular setup is a X299 build. It is a 9th gen X299, so 9820X, 10 core. It is nowhere even close to a modern CPU. So something, if you've got something like a 12600, a 5600X, those kind of chips are probably going to blow this thing out of the water. But it is a 9820X, 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM. The game was running off of an SSD. And I don't think there's anything else of relevance here. So let's hop into the game testing And I hope this gives you guys an idea that, hey, maybe the 3060 is still a usable option in spite of what people said. So let's go check it out. Starting with Cyberpunk 2077, as usual, we're at 1440p, high settings, with only a little bit of DLSS running in the quality preset mode. So this is actually quite nice. And so we're going to go away from the downtown area. So I started the downtown area so you can see absolute worst case scenario. So we've got the crowd density cranked, the settings are at high, and we were at the most demanding area of the city. So this is pretty much a solid 1440p, high settings, 50 to 60 FPS situation. I don't think you can really ask for more than this in a budget GPU. I really don't. I don't think most people are, I mean, are people running 1440p on budget setups now? I don't know. So, personally, I could play Cyberpunk like this all day long. I honestly, yeah, I've got a 4090, but this makes me happy. I do not need more than this to be happy. I really don't. I guess some of you feel different, but that's how I feel. But anyway, let's move to the next one. I think you guys have seen enough here. This is Hogwarts Legacy. This one's running 1440p, medium settings with DLSS on the quality preset. So, Hogwarts is a little more challenging of a game to run than pretty much anything else I test. So it's definitely not going to run quite as well on a system like this as some of the others, but I mean, it's not a bad look here. I got nothing to complain about. It's just not, it's not like high settings 1440p like Cyberpunk, so it's not quite as much to call home about on a budget GPU. But it's totally playable. There's nothing to complain about. Hey, what's that? Does that mean those guys are bad? Uh-huh. Okay, then. I've never been over here before. I have no idea what this is. Ooh, but it's a nice view. Dang. Oh, there's something over there, too. I didn't notice that before, either. I don't think that was there before. Huh. Well, anyway, I think you guys have seen enough on this, so let's move on to the next one. This is Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So on this one, we're running 1440p with DLSS running in the quality preset, and the settings are on, I believe we're on high here. Let's see, just real quick. Yeah, we're on the high setting. Now, this is a game that I have found to be particularly good in at lower frame rates compared to a lot of other games. So I would definitely recommend sacrificing frame rate for visual quality. I don't see any good reason not to, because this is a game that generally looks good at, again, surprisingly low frame rates. Um, this is pretty impressive. It really is. And this is good enough. Honestly, this is at a point where I would define it as the whole experience is here. Like, there's not, let's see, where does this go? Oh, nowhere. Oh, maybe somewhere? Okay. What's going on back here? The graphics look kind of cool, the blue and green. I always like colorful graphics. Overall, it's impressive, though. I mean, this is... I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is a way better experience on Jedi Survivor than those of us who had high-end systems got when the game first came out. So... But anyway, I think you guys have seen enough on this one. So let's move on to the next one. This is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. This one is running 1440p with DLSS set on the quality preset and medium settings. Not entirely certain where I'm supposed to go here. Can we climb up that? Oh. Oh, we can climb up it. Cool. This game has some of the most interesting visuals. Okay. Oh, okay. Hey, this is kind of cool. I'm not usually a fan of these kind of games, but this is a very interesting game. You know, I find these boss battles that they have in this game a little bit boring. Like, this turn-based thing isn't really my cup of tea, but it's interesting visuals, no lie there. Ooh, look, I dodged him perfectly. Okay. Yeah, just sitting here doing this isn't really my cup of tea, but, you know. I guess some of you like it. I think we have to take this dude out. Okay, I think you guys have seen enough to see kind of where we're sitting with the graphics here, so let's move on to the next one. This is Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, and this one is running maxed settings, 1440p resolution, and DLSS at the quality preset. Now, depending on how you like to run your games, there's all kinds of options here. You don't have to run maximum settings. You could turn it down to either high or medium and not see really that big of a loss in visual quality performance. Or you could turn the DLSS up a bit and again not see a whole heck of a lot of loss. So I'm showing you this as kind of okay, there's a lot of places you can go from here. It does seem Well, let's do this. Let's turn up our DLSS just a little bit. Quality. Oh, wait, what? Balanced, okay. That's interesting, okay. Wait, I don't think I did it right. Ah. Okay, that gets us up to like 50-ish. And as I said, a lot of this, you don't really see any quality difference. DLSS is pretty good. But you've also got certainly the option to lower the settings as well if you wanted to go that route. Okay, I think you guys have seen enough on this one, so let's move on to the next. This is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So currently on this one, we're running 1440p. DLSS is on balanced, and it's on, I don't even remember, what were we, medium settings? Where is it? Oh, high settings, okay. Oh, what is this? Cool. So currently, it is running a little on the low side on frame rate. Although, to be honest, I've been playing it like this for quite a while, and I honestly haven't noticed. Maybe I'm just not that picky, but I also think that typically this type of game, it's not really gonna... I don't think it's really going to benefit from a really high frame rate, so you can kind of get away with it. What are we looking for here? Wait, I thought I already was there. What? Look, a dead dude. It's definitely playable, though. It's nothing really particular to call home about, but it's playable. Okay, this guy is in my way now. Am I supposed to talk to him? Anyway, though, I think you guys have seen enough. This is kind of a quick run through. Anyway, this was the last one I was going to do, so I hope you guys enjoyed the look at the RTX 3060 if you made it this far, and thanks for watching.